All right, good morning, Hope. We are doing lab 8. Everybody say good morning.
Yeah.
All right, so we have set up the apparatus. I'm going to plug in my laptop so it doesn't die.
Oh, that's Is this set up correctly?
Yep,
Professor?
that looks good.
Professor.
Wait, what was he called? Yeah.
Science teacher.
No,
Science
she was a college
teacher.
College
In college, they say professor.
Yeah, Sarah.
They have to spend
not here.
$20 billion.
Oh, I don't know.
Can I? I'm just going to raise it up just a little bit.
Yeah, it's not like a
Can I
college.
lay
Put
with
it down
this?
for
Okay.
Let it burn.
Kitchen toy.
Let it
Actually,
burn.
it's
I
not
haven't
fun.
tried
Let
it.
it burn.
It's
We're
not
going
fun
to.
of setting it up.
Yeah.
All right,
5
yeah,
minutes.
sure. Come on. All right, so Mellie's going to do that part for us. Just be careful. I mean, it's not going to, like, explode right away or anything, but, you know.
Because she has
So you'll have to open up the valve to let some of the gas.
Just push the.
Push it and
It's just push the.
There you go.
You have to open
Alright,
the
so you
valve.
have to open the valve first on the gas.
have you never worked the
I don't know how to use this one.
Just
No,
push
on
the
the-
lighter in.
No, that.
On
Bro,
this. You
it's
just
not
have to
valve,
you know.
open them.
Pull the trigger. Yeah, that's right.
There you go.
I think it's way too much.
You just pull the trigger. I was gonna
Calm
explode.
down.
You can't wait this long.
Calm down. Okay.
Guys, seriously.
Don't hurt faster.
If you don't
Go,
have
go, go.
anything that's
Keep
going to
light.
add to what we're doing, just zip it.
Nice. There.
Alright, very good.
Okay.
Alright, so at this point, we're all going to put our goggles on, just in case anything breaks and goes flying across the room. We don't want it hitting anybody in the eye. Alright, so we're going to... Alright, I think I need to move this just a little bit because it's not quite under the thing.
Oh, sorry.
That's alright.
I got glasses underneath those.
Alright, so 5 minutes. Guys,
Guys.
seriously, stop your nonsense. Alright, so we're going to set a timer for 5 minutes, and then let's look at what the next step is so we can start preparing for that.
Number 1.
You can't do one without waiting.
Alright, so let's take a look at here. Alright, so the next thing we're going to need is 5 milliliters of sulfuric acid in the 10 milliliter graduated cylinder.
Wait, where are you?
Actually, I think I'm going to wait to get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait, don't we need the black powder?
Yeah. We need to.
Well, yeah, I mean, we could put it in the beaker. Just
Jesus.
Jesus said.
wow.
Tim's over here spreading the gospel.
All right, we can get the filter. Who wants to get the filter set up with the filter paper?
Sarah, come on.
We can get that part set up
Alright.
right now.
What am I doing?
What she just said.
Place the filtering funnel in the clay triangle and set it on the ring.
But not yet. Just put it on.
Yeah, so right now you're just going to set up the
No.
filter with the paper in it. The filter paper.
Got you.
There you go. All right, so you know how to do this?
Just.
No, we're going to put it in the filter.
Oh, in the funnel.
In the funnel. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, I thought you said filter.
That's what she said.
Am I pushing
All
it
right,
in?
it's turning black. It's starting to work here.
Can we look?
You can, don't all come up at once. Maybe one at a time.
One table at a time?
And just be careful. Just, yeah.
Oh, look at that. Page 200. There's like a method you can do for filter paper.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not.
That's what's happening.
Gio, you want to help Sarah out since you...
Here,
Yeah.
Bring it over.
Seriously, guys, be careful.
Andrew, put your shirt down.
Nah. Oh.
Yeah.
What are you announcing?
We'll get fixed.
It changed colors. That's
Yeah.
funny,
Alright, go ahead and sit down. Anybody else wants to take a look? We got about 2.5 more minutes. Girls, you need your hair tied back. You cannot be anywhere near that burner without your hair tied back. You need a, if you need a rubber band, I can give you one.
No, I got one.
What did it look like before? It didn't
I can't find
What does steel wool normally look like?
I don't know.
I'm
It's
sorry.
like
Well,
that.
it's
brown.
actually
That thing over there.
copper wool, not steel wool, but
You saw it.
I know.
the color of copper.
How do you?
Oh yeah, it's like silver.
Feels weird.
Well,
actually
you don't know
copper
who that is.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
copper,
it's
it's
some
copper.
color. It's kind
It's
of.
yours, Sarah.
Here, use this one.
Look at that getting intrigued.
Alright.
So it literally just looks like.
Anybody else want to, Walton, do you have a question?
No.
Oh, okay.
He does.
Anybody else who would
Watch
like
this fine
to
system.
come up and take a look, just please be careful and put your face right next to it.
Number 1. 2.
In this page, you have a different test tube that looks like there's something in it.
The
Just
funnel,
use it
there's
anyway.
another funnel
blow
right
it.
here.
Just blow it.
No, honestly, just put that in it.
Literally, just put your mask up, put it up to your mouth, and just.
Use your tongue, will
Don't
you?
say that.
Ew, guys.
Guys,
Come on.
What are masks for?
You're not allowed to say that.
We're trying to be helpful here, not obnoxious.
I would have done it.
No, it would not have.
It's another chemical that it feels.
Sarah, do you need a hair tie?
I have one.
Alright, let's get that hair tie back.
on.
I don't want anybody
Okay.
getting,
Right now.
He doesn't.
going up in flames.
Anymore.
Right now.
It would be
kind of
Not really.
That would be
Not on my watch. You want to do it on your own
Okay.
time? That's
Do
your
what?
business.
Do
Not
what?
on
Do
my
what?
watch.
Somebody have letters.
Can we set that?
I've done that before. It's not fun.
I've set my hair on fire before.
Alright, so guys, let's take a look while we're waiting at question number 4.
You have a piece of tape. I can use to hold this.
Yes, right there.
Yeah.
So you should be able to answer this question without observing the reaction.
Which one?
Copper, number 4. Look alive, Deke. Copper would react with oxygen if it was just left out in the air, right? Think about how temperature speeds up the motion of particles. Why do you think heating up the copper sped up the reaction between copper and oxygen to produce the black compound?
The copper wire.
Good job.
Yes, it is.
Oh, what?
You know why?
It looked great.
Guys,
He was asking about the copper.
we're not arguing about anything in lab.
We didn't know
Talking
anything.
about the question.
He's just colorblind. It's not his fault.
Just
Colorblind.
okay, why do you think heating up the copper sped up the reaction?
Because the atoms were
Bonded.
Because heat moves around
There you
the
go.
things faster.
Yes, thank you, Tim.
very descriptive.
Heat speeds up the movement of electrons. And what else? I mean, we know, very generally speaking, heat is what in a reaction?
The conductor.
A triangle. Good thing.
What do we call that? There's a fancy science word
Delta.
we use for that.
Delta?
Alpha.
What does the delta represent?
Heat.
Heat.
The. Sarah?
The
When you-
reaction?
What's
No.
the word we use for that? When you put
Achaeus. Accurate.
What? That's a
That's
symbol.
one.
Oh, that's water.
Acura.
when you see something above the arrow
Catalyst?
in a reaction.
Catalyst, yeah.
Catalyst.
Catalyst, yeah.
Thank you. All right.
Absolutely.
So we are going to. Okay, so we're gonna take this off. I'm glad that it actually didn't break and explode this time.
I missed the page. Maybe a little. Missed the page. I got the filter down.
All right, very good.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
so we're gonna get.
Look how perfect it is. It's a perfect.
All right, and as you guys can see, hold on, let me just bring this off.
SPEED.
Speed.
I didn't know how to spell
Why is it
speed.
still lit?
Speed.
What you said?
What you use a special ed?
No, it's actually asking.
All right, very good.
AD.
So
Okay, who cares how we spelled it? Like,
I'll take this around for you guys to
They spell
observe.
lead.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Speed?
Very hot.
LED.
Oh,
Thank
that's
you, Tim.
burning the pot.
Ask Zach how he spelled it.
I'll just take this.
That'd be spin.
And
Speed.
It's burning the.
into
Why would you spell it like that?
Whoops.
If lead is spelled LEAD, then if you spell speed
Oh.
SPEAD, spin.
speed.
You hurt my head.
Alright, so you guys
Sure,
can
yeah, I
see.
think so.
Tim.
That's a real big difference.
10.
It has turned black.
What's black?
You guys can see that.
The thing that we're working on.
Alright.
Nope.
Not this yet.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So we can all see
Anyway.
the copper
Yeah.
has turned black.
Dude, you look like a scientist.
Alright.
Okay.
You look like a full scientist.
Is my goggles off now?
Yes.
Yeah, so you can take your goggles off now for a minute. Here, I don't know if we can really get this into the camera to where you can see it. Probably
But it's not.
not. Yeah, you can kind of see it there, that it's black. Maybe not. Alright.
Oh.
So, that crucible is very hot. Don't try touching it. Alright, so what's the next thing that we are going to do? Okay, so what is the black product that resulted from the reaction of copper and atmospheric oxygen?
Coal?
No.
Who
That was
said
actually
coal?
What?
Sugar.
Wait, is it?
He was kidding. He was
No.
kidding.
So he's not cold. So.
Funny.
Metal?
Cold just
Yeah,
comes
I'm
from nothing.
Dark metal?
Okay, Andrew, use your science words here. We
Rust.
want the name of the compound and its chemical formula. So you bonded together copper and oxygen.
So CuO. 2.
Very good. It's actually, well, they just have CuO.
Yeah, so I put the 2 sounds fine.
And anybody have any idea? Maybe we can, somebody look at your flow chart. Tell us what the compound name would be for that.
It wouldn't be O2 though, because it's.
No.
They just have CuO.
This is for fire.
Copper. What's it?
Copper oxide, yes. And it would have the, so,
Number 1.
The number one would
It
be
is
copper
my-
oxide.
Yeah, copper.
and it's actually,
Yeah, so we just like.
because one of those, I'm guessing, has multiple oxidation states. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Alright, so it's going to be copper 2 oxide. Alright, very good. And hope you can maybe see that on the board. Copper 2 oxide. Alright, here we go. Alright, so the next thing. Alright, describe, number 2, describe anything else that you observed during the reaction.
It got together more. It got like tighter and like
No, I did not.
naturally a ball.
It became
I did
sober.
It became
Oh.
sober.
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 Well, obviously it became
It
black.
changed to a
Yeah, it became
blackish
colored.
silver color.
It was probably more fragile because
You
now
think
if you
so?
touched it, it would probably would fall apart.
Yeah, it's a little more brittle. And it obviously produced a strong smell.
Yeah.
Now we're going to write a word equation and a balanced equation for the synthesis reaction in which copper and atmospheric oxygen produced the black compound. So we already know copper plus oxygen produced copper 2 oxide. So you guys know how to write that, right?
Wouldn't we have to also put the delta over the arrow since we used T?
Well, so first you're writing the word equation, which would be copper plus oxygen. That is how you spell copper, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
It
C-U-O-P-P-E-R.
looks weird. I don't know.
Yeah,
why.
They're like.
Anyway, all right. Copper
Who else
plus
can?
oxygen
Anyone?
Oh, okay.
produces. They don't actually have the heat over the arrow, but the delta. But I would put it there.
Yeah.
More accurate. All right. So
What
copper
number
plus
is that?
oxygen with the reaction
What number were we in this
produces copper 2
3.
oxide. All right. So now what we
Produces
need
what?
to do
Copper check.
is balance the equation. Because if we have Cu plus, well, we know, right, that the oxygen in the air is in what form?
Those two are supposed to
Yeah.
Somebody said it before. It's not going to be just O by itself. It would be
O2.
O2. Right, so,
So it would be Cu plus O2.
Correct.
but you need to check that and see if that's balanced.
I do know this.
So what's wrong here?
There's only one O, so you have to do 2 at the
Reaction.
2 in front of the C and then 2 in front of the C again.
Okay. So we're gonna put a 2 here
Then
and a 2 here.
yeah.
And then to complete it also, we know that the copper was in what state?
Solid.
Solid, right? So you're gonna put in your S. And then O2 is in what state?
Gas.
Gas. Good. Alright. And the copper 2 oxide is in what state?
Solid.
Solid, yep. Alright, so there's our completed balanced
Then you
equation.
want to put an arrow over the
Oh, the
delta.
delta over the arrow, yes. Alright, so 2 Cu solid plus O2 gas reacts with heat as a catalyst to produce 2 CuO solid.
Correct.
Alright, I'm just saying it again so hope we can hear it. Alright. So, and we answered the last question already. We know that heat causes what?
Speeds up the reaction.
Speeds up the rate of the reaction, and it also causes the particles to move faster. Alright, so next we're going to do a double replacement reaction. So, using the crucible tongs, we're going to dump the black product from the crucible into a 150 milliliter beaker. So, who wants to do that?
I will.
Alright, while you are doing that, I'm going to add the sulfuric acid to the graduated cylinder. So, we're doing 5 milliliters of sulfuric acid in
Are
10
these the tongues?
milliliter graduated
No, this is-
cylinder.
Those are scissors.
Those, they're not scissors.
Scissors.
Yeah, that's the crucible tongue.
We're
Yeah.
gonna make fun of you.
Harold Hennigan is Pastor Bart's wife, right?
50 milliliter.
Alright.
100.
Thanks for that.
Okay,
question.
so now, I think I've told you guys this before, but in case you forgot, anytime we're handling acids, we're going to use these big heavy gloves because we don't want to burn our hands.
Isn't there another pair that you
green
used
ones.
the other day? Weren't you using a different pair the other
Yeah,
day?
big green one.
Yeah, I might have been using the green ones. These are good too. They're fabric on the outside, but they're insulated in the middle, so they're good.
Are
Alright.
these like really corrosive?
Huh?
Are these really corrosive?
Sulfuric acid is the most corrosive substance
In the world.
on
So
Earth.
should we put a mask?
Fairly sure.
Does it matter? Do I need to get a 150
Goggles
milliliter
specifically.
beaker? Since it says it doesn't really matter.
It does, well, you're just gonna put it in one of the beakers, and then,
It would probably.
So. Why would you do that?
Saying something like that.
alright,
Like he
so
was
we
doing
are
it.
doing
Might do it to someone else.
I put it on a table or something.
Alright, and I'm gonna do this over here, not right next to Sarah, and I would recommend that you guys pull your masks up over your nose and mouth, because and don't get too close to that beaker, or the cylinder, because you don't wanna breathe those fumes in.
I think putting that is under the drink.
And as long as you don't,
It'll burn the drink.
lean right over it, you should be okay, but just be
It's in a
careful.
glass.
Oh yeah.
So I don't think it goes through.
It has to be a certain kind of glass though. I feel like regular glasses would be melted.
No, this is tempered glass
But
to
I
be
mean,
able
when
to
it's in,
hold stuff like that. This is, a regular cup might not
Yeah.
be a great idea.
Not only that, even if the cup could hold it, the drink itself would be changed somehow.
I mean, if it's in a covered cup and they just go.
Well, and it would also be steaming because sulfuric acid gets extremely hot when you mix it with other liquids.
Put it like with water in a milk water bottle.
Even still, the water would
What
look
are you trying to
discolored.
do?
The water would look discolored if you did it.
If it's like this.
Yeah, I gotta move the table.
You drink.
Well, who drinks out of that? Who just orders one of those huge things for
I mean, like their own water
It
bottle.
might.
Then you're just a messed up person at that point.
Something like that.
What? Are you gonna burn your hand?
No, I just, it makes me a little nervous.
Trust me.
You should, Jim.
Yeah.
You really should.
On the table.
Oh, cool.
Carving acid goes through your hand.
Alright.
It's kinda
Seems
cool.
like
Yeah, I don't really
normal
feel like
thing to
going to the
carry.
emergency room today. I don't know about you guys, but
I don't
That'd
know,
be a
I'm
good
not
change
Bible
of the
going to
norm.
school.
Yeah. Gee, you make good point. Hey, I wouldn't have to take it this weekend.
double glove it
You're right.
here.
No, they get you back.
More
in
more
time.
than less.
Then definitely bring the test to the hospital.
They bring the test to the
Literally.
hospital. Don't worry.
Or maybe take it on Google Classroom.
Don't worry, won't let me count.
Wow, they would actually do that.
They definitely would.
No. So,
Maybe what was fun.
so anybody that is coming up here, obviously we need to be super careful around this.
So,
No,
Careful.
Deke,
Nice.
not that one.
Pour a little bit of this back.
Yes.
we need more.
There we
This
go.
cylinder pours a little bit better than the bottom does. Alright, so we got 5
Graham.
milliliters there.
Actually, put this
So what are we
color
doing
thing
next?
Pouring that into here and then stirring it.
Okay, so we're gonna do that very carefully
Yeah.
with your goggles on if you're doing that.
I don't trust her.
And then do I need goggles? I mean gloves or make it?
Professor is incorrect.
You should have gloves on. Your apron should be tied.
I think this will do. You should do.
Well, it's have to do gloves.
She's a little bit sketchy. But
Yeah.
I have to do that.
Here's a glove.
Alright, and I'm gonna take this
Bruh.
Maybe you could
put
wander
it
on.
back on here.
Thank you.
I hate using this stuff.
Spooky.
What size are these? A little big.
That's small.
They're medium.
I'm kidding.
They're small, like extra small.
Could you get burnt through the glass if you touched it with your bare hand?
We had a.
No, although I usually do, because there are some, like you can tell, there like some oxidation happens anyway, just from, like this is just from it being, I had written this in a magic marker, and just from it being in the corrosive thing, it,
Drop us a.
Sarah, put that down for a minute.
Yeah.
Go get a pair of the rubber gloves in there, kind of a little thicker.
You want
Do it
to-
from the other side of the table so I can see it.
Make sure Hope can see it too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, sir.
Moving
Give
to
those people some.
Because honestly, all I see is that.
Okay.
And I'm gonna get
I'll try to
some
show you.
sodium
You gotta tie
hydroxide
your-
ready, because that's our new saliva.
I can't not put these.
Then take them off and tie it.
They look amazing.
Seriously.
Maybe Melly can help you out there.
Yeah, no, it's
Can you help her? Just get tied up.
You pick a person.
Alright, so why'd you give me the long one?
So this
I like
is
my
an
one.
extremely strong base. This will neutralize just about any acid.
Even that one.
Yes.
Does that stuff
Wait,
burn?
what?
It is corrosive also, but not. It's more caustic, I guess would be the proper term. I mean, it's like bleach is a very strong base. It's very similar properties to bleach.
So it's like a.
Can I pour it in now?
So it's a little bit more safer to handle than
So wait,
the sulfuric
how did
acid.
pH go? Probably like a 12, 13, or 14.
Oh yeah, this would be a 14 on the pH scale for sure. Yeah.
I poured it in now. Yes.
Yep. All right. So we can go ahead and do that.
You okay with your gun then?
All right. So you guys may want to come up and observe, but again, just remember we're not getting our faces too close to the beaker where the fumes might come up. And just be careful about this right here.
is directly over it.
Yeah. Neutralizing.
What if we got like a rag and put that stuff on it? Would that be able to neutralize it? Like,
It might be.
I like how it went on the table or something.
Okay.
Yo, bro.
no. Don't do it.
Don't touch, please.
I'm not gonna put.
I will kick you out of lab for the rest of your life if you do that.
It doesn't burn.
So you're about to put your apron on it because you know it's hot. Your apron
There
is
you
hot.
go.
Now you're supposed to stir it.
All right. What does it say to do next? Anybody looking at the manual? See what we do after that?
Apple. Nothing else.
It's supposed to take
This
off
is
a little
2
black
minutes.
color.
Ooh.
It's not everything.
Why do we have so many of these?
cares?
I do. That's why I
You just
asked.
have to let
Why do you
react.
care?
It might take a minute or
What does he care
Oh,
for?
so.
Let it take a minute or two, Sarah.
Minutes.
Really?
Dude.
Let me keep poking at it.
Don't drip that. Why'd you put that on
Why
the?
would you do that?
Why'd you put that on the table?
It didn't do anything to that table.
Calm down, everybody.
It will.
Calm down.
Over time. Yes, it
Breathe.
No, you can't touch
We're
the
gonna be
table.
okay.
Yeah, now I can't touch the table. We gotta get some wipes or something.
We're gonna get some wipes.
Sarah put some on this table.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
going to. I'm going to.
She's not
try
doing
to
this
No,
right.
get
Sam,
this
are you done?
in here.
Everybody.
Oh,
Now you're just rubbing it in.
You guys are
Like
actually
you
about to
stained the
put
table.
sulfuric acid on
Stain the
trash can.
table.
Calm down and shut up.
All right,
not
everybody
a school word.
relax. Everybody
Yeah, no.
relax.
It's the table
Yeah.
stain.
We've got this neutralizer here. We're gonna
She's
wipe
literally
it up
throwing
with.
out sulfuric acid.
in the trash.
And it's gonna burn.
On a napkin.
Like
Yeah,
it's
I
a
didn't
good
really
idea.
intend for her to do that.
Oh well. Buddy.
I'm actually just gonna take
My
Stu.
turn.
But it's bloody.
Can you not sit? Like, could you scoot over?
I'm the only person
no,
with
you
jumps
don't
on
get
one
up.
of the t-shirts.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
probably should
Why do we have Sarah doing all these
Okay.
things? This is a bad idea.
Yeah.
Zach, can you stay? Like,
All right, guys,
Maybe this one.
just relax. Just relax. We're gonna be all
I
right.
feel like Zach should be doing this.
Yeah.
Well then, he can do it.
Zach's the bigger person here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's the bigger person here.
That's the point, sir.
Well,
So then,
over
someone
here.
take over, please. Anybody?
That one right there.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Tim's got
Shut
this.
your
Tim.
mouth.
Tim, take it from here.
No, Zach stayed.
All right, so literally, guys, just to demonstrate here,
So you're from.
Ooh.
Whoa.
you can see what it did to the towel there.
Bro.
Right.
That's always good.
So, Andrew, can you get one of those black bins up there, the big
That's
big
cool.
one?
Is it flammable?
It's extremely flammable.
Yes. We're not going.
What?
So I assume
What
the
is it?
table.
Extremely flammable. It shouldn't be about to burn.
Hey, dude.
Okay.
That's
Burn
what
the
they
towel.
So
Put a hole
the
in it.
table is
Alright,
an
so
asset.
we're
That's
going
towel.
to do
Nice.
is let's put that
No,
down.
sir.
Black
Alright, fine. I
bins.
don't care. I don't need to sit
And
It's kind of old.
here.
actually, figure what's the best way to do this.
One of the old people need
No. You're on camera.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to move out of the way.
I was literally
So you can
flying.
see everything.
Sorry.
Alright, do we see anything happening there?
They took off a.
No.
No, actually.
Is there a little bit of,
Hey,
maybe
put
you
more.
can very carefully kind of swoosh it around.
I did a bunch of times, but.
It should be removing the.
I did it.
Alright, so I'm actually gonna pour a little bit of this very carefully.
Macaroni.
It did take off a little color. Take off a little bit of the black color.
That's gonna be on YouTube. You're famous now.
One
The 20 viewers.
There. Alright.
Is it gonna melt the table?
It's not gonna melt through the table. It might leave a mark on the table.
Like that right there, what Sarah did.
And she wiped it with a tissue.
Yeah, I put a tissue
You
down.
rubbed it right in the table.
Calm down.
So dumb.
I think we're gonna be okay.
No.
Okay, so what are you doing now?
That's what you did, Sarah.
Don't mess around in
I was
Literally don't mess around in
reenacting.
lab.
Reenacting thing.
Oh, I do see
Don't.
kind of a
Well, I'm doing.
Yeah, I see the
Don't.
Yeah.
That should be kicked
Make
out.
me.
It'll probably go away with time.
You're going to
Or not.
Probably
Yeah.
not. Hopefully
Well,
not.
that's why we have these nice.
Whoa,
big
whoa,
tables in
don't
there.
fight
All
around.
right, guys. All right, everybody go back to their
Everybody go back.
seats. Go sit down.
Me?
Yeah,
How tight
you're
you
the
tie
only
this?
Sarah.
She's not as bad as she was.
All right, so
I'm
we're
just
gonna
kidding.
take this stir and put it in the sodium hydroxide. Just gonna squish this around a little bit more here.
Those are good.
Take this in there, see.
All right.
All I know is this.
So it's not. I wonder if we maybe put it in a smaller beaker so it's really covered in the. Yeah, I think so. So we have these little tiny ones that might work better. Let's see. Because it is starting to, what you guys should have noticed, hopefully, is that the black is actually going away now and it's turning copper again.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna pour this in the hydroxide into there to neutralize anything that might be left behind.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right.
You should be.
Why?
You just said it. Why are you?
Yeah. Ooh.
All right. So I mean, it's happening very slowly, but you can
If
see
you
that.
added more, would it happen faster?
Yeah, but I don't really want to mess
No,
with
no,
it.
We should just like.
I get it.
So I mean, did you guys all get to see though that the copper color is starting to
come
come
back.
back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see that car in
Yes.
All right.
No, I didn't see it.
there?
What was
Like
that?
in the
What was it?
jet.
It was a Corvette.
Corvette.
All right. So what do we do next? What's next in the book, guys?
What two products resulted from the addition of sulfuric acid to the black compound?
That was Tim.
Beans.
What two
Would you like
products?
to further explain?
Beans?
All right.
I made beans.
All right. So what two products? Well,
Copper, oxide, sulfuric acid. Sulfur. Copper and sulfur.
Copper and
Sulfur.
so the copper separated from the oxygen, right? That's why it's turning back to its natural color.
So copper.
So the oxygen must have gone where?
Sorry.
In the air.
into this
It must have
Sulfuric
became
acid. Into the sulfuric acid. Very good, Sarah. So, what do you get when you have
Copper.
oxygen and sulfuric acid.
Copper and
All right, so we have. All right, so let's look at this way. All right, and I'm gonna move this over here so you can see the board, maybe. All right. So we know that we have a couple of things involved in this reaction. We started out with, guys, pay attention.
We started out with the copper.
Okay, what was the formula that we had for that?
Copper to
CuO.
C.
What was it at the end?
C2 oxide.
2CuO
Yeah, two C.
was the end product.
Yes.
All right, and we added what?
We added sulfur.
Sulfuric acid.
Which is, what's the formula for that?
2MH2S.
No.
No, okay, guys, kindness.
Isn't it just
No.
The 2M represents 2 moles. So what that tells us that in 5 milliliters of sulfuric acid, there are 2 moles of sulfuric acid.
H2SO4.
All right, so thank you, Zach. It's H2SO4.
Number.
All right, so
Blue.
That's it.
Should we write this down? Where it is, or we just?
so what is the end product?
It would be 2CuH2SO. No, that's not it.
What?
Well, we don't know.
Sir.
How do you figure? We never figured that.
Well, we got
No.
copper as a result, so.
Yeah, how do we
Please
figure
do.
that out?
CU.
Make me.
Ask
So what actually happened is that the copper
The same kind of?
I said, are you?
bonded with the sulfur and oxygen.
Why?
What's a double reaction?
Okay, so I'll tell you the one part that we got is H2O,
Water.
so water
And then
as a result, and then what else?
SO4 CU or CuSO4.
CuSO4. Good.
Number 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it produced.
All right.
No.
Because that's.
So we have the end result we need to write in words also. So we got water plus, what would be the chemical name for this? Deke?
Copper sulfuric acid. I don't know.
Copper.
You said it before. Copper
Copper sulfate.
sulfate. Very good. Come in. Hi.
Can
you give me internet so I can do a quiz?
Yes. All right.
Tell
So
me.
copper.
You can just say it out loud.
What?
And there's actually one of those has a multiple oxidation state.
So copper 2 sulfate.
So it'd be copper 2 sulfate. Good.
Would there be any subscripts or no?
No, this is just the word, the compound name. This is what the actual compound formula is.
So those are the two products.
Thank you.
Save.
The word is yeah.
Save.
All right. So what's
So, yeah.
next?
Describe anything else that you observed.
I've observed the taste.
Well, let's
Okay,
take
so
the
you
black
say
off.
copper.
No, we observed
Yeah,
the
you're
taste
right.
being same.
Well, that's the word.
It's not staying.
I think you need those.
It's already dried.
Yeah.
Same.
Because there's no
It
space
would
over
stand
here to
down.
write it down.
It is same.
That one.
Sure, maybe
Yeah.
if you didn't throw out some
But you
uric
got-
acid in the trash can,
Yeah.
we wouldn't have this
Who
problem.
says?
Did she actually do that?
Yeah, she wiped it out of tissue and
Life
threw it in the
doesn't
trash
happen.
can.
But
Like she was some kind of genius.
That was a little dangerous.
That was
That
amazing.
was stupid.
But I think
It was.
Trash
Look.
bag.
Sarah,
Yeah, we already
there's
burned a
some
hole
holes
in the
this.
towel.
Let me see.
Thank you.
Right there, look.
Have fun, Daniel. We'll miss you.
You're welcome.
If you're
Okay.
in the class below,
All
feel free to
right,
out.
very good. So, describe anything else that you observed. So possible, although we didn't really see it. What the book is telling me is that sometimes during this reaction, the water will actually change to a bluish color. That didn't happen
We
for
could
us.
just write it down, but it didn't happen.
But just so you know,
Richard.
it could potentially produce a blue filtrate. But we didn't see that happen. So, okay, so the next thing is we're going to place the filtering funnel in the clay triangle and set it on the ring.
Ooh.
Andrew wants to do.
Andrew,
Yes.
alright?
Go get him.
Dang my goggles.
How are we doing on time? We've got some time.
You see your 04.
Yeah, I sent my 044.
Do I need gloves on to do this?
Now you just dropped some.
I don't think so right now.
Sarah,
So I'm gonna take. What am I taking?
The funnel that
So this
Geo
thing
set
and
up.
this
Yes, there you go.
Those are
In the
funnels,
triangle
right?
instead of the ring.
Alright, then we're going to filter the solution
Into the
into the 250
Save
milliliter beaker.
filter paper can be thrown out.
Thank you.
Save the filtrate in the beaker for step 1 below. The filter paper can be thrown out. Put the piece of paper under the beaker containing the filtrate.
We're just playing the game
Put
right now,
a
right?
piece of
But we got
paper.
food for man. We got ice
Okay,
Yeah,
so we need a piece. Guys, please stop talking about other things.
Yes,
It makes this very confusing for me. And for you guys, because you guys should be figuring out how to do this too. Alright, so we need to place a piece of paper under the filter, or under the beaker.
That's the filter.
So you're going to put the beaker at the bottom. We could probably lower that ring now. So it's a little bit closer. Yeah, I don't think that's coming off. But that's right. That's why we have these cables.
memories.
One day we'll come back here.
It's memories.
The substitute teachers like every other graduate.
Are we filtering it right now?
We're doing
Wait,
Step
there's
4
no
and 5.
250 milliliter one. Can I just grab the 500 one?
It doesn't matter. Yes, that's fine.
I'm sorry.
Or we could just
Oh, you
grab a smaller one
For
from
what?
there. Since it's a small amount of liquid that
For
we're
what?
working with.
Just question
I don't
before I
think
start
we
making
do.
page on the filter. I use tape
Why
to
do you
hold
wanna
it.
tie it
Would that mess with anything or no?
No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you
small
may as
one.
well.
Like
So
skeleton.
really just the, guys, what are you talking about?
the lab.
Fine.
Alright, well unless you're helping to construct something, just please zip it. Okay, so we need a piece of paper under the beaker.
One of these ones?
I guess, yeah, that would work. And then we're going to,
Move your water bottle now. Perfect.
alright, so now we are going to very carefully pour
Careful.
that into this.
Carefully, Andrew.
We said carefully.
He's
Unnecessary, guys. Thank you.
Good stuff.
Alright, so you put that beaker in there and you pour a little bit of this in there
Sit, sir.
to neutralize it.
Sit.
Can you stop?
Sit.
So, in one little note for everybody, any of this stuff before we get ready to get rid of it? What do you think we're gonna do?
Neutralize
Something
it.
outside.
Put water in it.
Neutralize it.
Dump it
It's
outside.
not the
Reuse
Well,
it.
so I'm adding sodium hydroxide to all the acid things
Neutralize
to
it.
neutralize it.
But then you put water in it.
So how are we gonna know if it's successfully neutralized?
Reduce,
pH
reuse,
test.
recycle.
Yes. Very good. We're gonna test it
Yeah, I
with
was
pH
gonna say
paper.
Sure.
And if it is neutralized, it should turn what color?
Green.
Brown.
Blue.
Yellow.
Brown.
Yellow.
Green, yellow,
Like
blue,
yellow.
somewhere. As long as it's not in the
Yellow.
pink.
Yeah.
If it's pink or red, then it's not neutralized.
Ah,
So it should turn somewhere between yellow and blue, somewhere in that range there.
Okay.
Okay. So what do we do next?
Oh, well.
Tim, come on, do something.
Filter the solution. Okay. What was the color of the solution after the sulfuric acid was added to the black compound and is filtered?
Wasn't it the same color?
Really just white.
You should.
Is it supposed to be a different color?
It could turn blue, I guess. I'm not sure why. It doesn't exactly turn blue for us. It didn't do that last time either. All right.
Tim, do you mind?
And
Do you just grab all the fruit in your house and bring it?
Sometimes.
You don't.
No one else
bring
eats
fruit.
it, so.
all right.
Never eats the one we already.
We can
So and we did.
I eat that.
Okay, so for guys, for number 8, the answer is what we put up here on the board. The
Oh.
only thing that you need to fill in is the state of each thing. So the CuO was what state?
The 2CU.
was no solid.
2CuO.
Solid.
Solid.
Yeah, that's solid.
Yes. All right. So this is a solid.
Mm-hmm.
This is what?
A liquid.
What is H2?
They actually call it an aqueous solution.
Oh.
I guess because there is some water contained in the sulfuric acid.
Okay.
So this would be AQ.
And then H2O is liquid.
H2O is liquid. And the
then
CuSO4.
Solid?
Liquid?
They have that as aqueous also.
Oh.
Okay. All right. So that's your answer to number 8. So you have to write the word equation and then write the balanced equation below that. All right, so number 9, what ion do you think caused the color change of the solution of the sulfuric acid in the black compound?
Water. The copper.
What ion? Yes. So the ion would be, can anybody tell me what the oxidation number of that would be?
2.
It would be 2 plus or 2 negative?
Negative. Plus.
Plus. So Cu2 plus is the ion. The ions of the sulfuric acid were already in the solution, and none of them had any color. When the copper 2 oxide, the black compound, was added to the solution of the sulfuric acid, the Cu2 plus ions were released and caused the blue color. Oh, it didn't.
What was the heat?
Wait, can you repeat?
What was the
Yeah.
word equation for this? Just the
Yeah,
water plus
8.
copper.
Yeah,
Okay.
plus this. Yeah.
It's Cu2 plus and then what Evans?
Yeah, what's the explanation?
Oh,
Because it didn't really change colors.
the copper 2 oxide. So the ions should have separated from the solution. They didn't really do that. Not sure why. Okay. Oh, and then, oh no, we got this. All right, yeah, so that was the product there. All right, so let's do the next part. We're going to pour 20 milliliters of NaOH into the 25 milliliter graduated cylinder.
What's NaOH?
So that's the sodium hydroxide.
Is that acidic?
No, it's basic. So it is caustic. It's not quite as corrosive as the sulfuric acid, but we still want to wear gloves when we're handling it. So I'll do the initial pouring and then I'll let you guys take over from there. Come in. Hello, hello, hello. Come on in.
We have a visitor. Just to say hi. This is Mrs. LePage. She is science teacher. She does we all wear different hats, but mainly science is her thing.
All right.
So I don't know what they're working on. This is Gianna,
Oh, very nice.
6th grader, and Josh. Yeah. Okay. See you guys.
Everybody say hi.
Hi. Thank you.
Yeah, these are all right. So we're gonna take the sodium.
Yeah.
What?
No.
Guys, put the food away. We can't have food out there in lab.
Tim.
That's like the dumbest.
I'm sorry.
Hopefully they
He has an
focus
apron
that.
on.
He doesn't.
All right, so everybody pay attention here. We're gonna
Yes.
pour the sodium hydroxide into here. Notice that I have my mask up, and I'm gonna put my goggles on too,
And her hair's on.
and my hair is tied back.
Yes, sir.
Like Sarah.
All right.
Yeah.
Come on, Sarah.
So you still have hair in your face.
Yeah.
All right. So
Couple explosions.
this one's saying
Sarah, why
a
don't
little
you do?
shave it?
pour
What do you do
here.
about it?
Yes.
Shave it.
Yeah.
So we got a little more.
Not
that
funny, it's serious.
Oh, okay.
we did.
He's very concerned.
Did you ever shave?
Can't you tell by
I
his
did
doctor?
shave it.
All right, guys.
Sorry.
If it has nothing to do with this, don't
Well,
talk
his
about
facial
it.
hair
right
could
now.
like catch.
Yeah. It burned.
All right, so we have our 25 milliliters of sodium hydroxide. What are we gonna do next?
We're going to
Perfect.
add 10 milliliters into the beaker gradually as you stir the mixture with the glass stirring rod.
Wait, wait,
you have the
You have the wrong.
computer the wrong way.
You have the wrong amount. 20 milliliters.
Alright, relax. She was looking at the board.
AOH, 25 milliliters.
Can you guys all stop talking and let
Hi,
Gio
Hope.
speak?
It's
Yeah.
Sarah, by the way.
Did you say 20? You had 25
There you go.
milliliters
Merry
of
Christmas.
the sodium hydroxide or 20 milliliters?
It's supposed to be 20 milliliters. Is that what you
Yeah.
said? Okay, so we have a little extra. Zip it.
Yes.
All right.
The A and Q.
Pour a little bit more back.
Not so bad.
Do I need to separate you two?
No, he was
Yes,
asking about
please.
milk because he didn't understand it.
Yeah.
But I let him know.
Why did they give him?
All right, still a little bit more than
They're
we're
together.
supposed to
You don't
have.
have your mask on.
No, we're not. I can't use this table.
You
You
should
didn't
do it.
shave. Be
I
quiet.
did shave this morning. You should
Shut
be with your
up.
sibling.
Shave this morning.
Who wants to get relieved from this lab and not participate in the rest of it? Because I'm tired of saying the same thing. Deke,
I just said he didn't have his mask on.
get gloves on the right way. Stop playing around in my lab, please. And don't make me have to say it again. All right, so 20 milliliters. What are we doing next?
I poured 10 milliliters of sodium hydroxide from the graduated cylinder to the filter of the beaker gradually as you stir the mixture with the glass stirring rod.
A precipitate will form.
So, I'm sorry. Say that again.
Add 10 milliliters of the sodium hydroxide from the graduated cylinder to the filter in the beaker, gradually as you stir the mixture with the glass stirring rod.
Okay, so.
You don't want us to do this?
If you want
What
to.
if you want to do this part?
Sure.
All right, Andrew.
Andrew does.
Let's go.
Get your rubber gloves on there.
Get the rubber gloves. Get your Fallout 76 gloves on.
Honestly,
They do look like that, don't they?
they have the same colors.
Exactly.
Like what?
Look like Fallout 76 gloves, right? No. Just the
You
colors.
play that?
No, I just know from the
So I'm just gonna pour this into here.
You should put-
So you're supposed to be pouring 10 milliliters of that.
yes.
Okay, so
So 20, so I'm gonna go to the 10.
Yep.
Why?
So just pour slow. Whoa.
That's the precipitate they said.
Careful,
Faster.
cover up your nose, Andrew.
Yeah, I ain't
Yeah,
noticed
come on.
that.
Pour it past.
Cancer.
The steam.
No, they say stir 10 in first, and then stir it, and slowly add the rest in. Well,
Yeah,
the
you
Alright,
need one of
so
these.
you need a stirring rod.
What was the filtrate?
Where you gotta stir it.
That would be what we filtered out of the copper thing, wouldn't it?
So it would be the copper 2 sulfate aqueous as the filtrate. Alright.
I just put this on the table.
Yeah, that's fine. It should be neutralized with those two things together. So, alright. Add the additional sodium hydroxide while you continue to stir the mixture until no more precipitate forms. Did we add all of it?
No. I had 10.
Alright, so you're going to add all of it and continue stirring until there is no more precipitate forming. Alright. Well, it stopped steaming, so I'm going to guess that.
No more steam tape.
Alright, so what were the two products that resulted from the double replacement reaction of sodium hydroxide and the filtrate? So it's already told you that it's a double replacement. So we know we started with CuSO4 and we added what?
NaOH.
NaOH, yep.
So.
Alright, and it's told us that it was a double replacement reaction. So,
NaCu?
Yeah. CuNA.
No. NaSO4.
NaSO4
And then
And CuOH. Plus CuOH.
CuOH. Alright, but this isn't quite in its proper form. So can anybody tell me what the proper way to write that would be?
Like
You
with
have
the
to
gas
write-
and liquid stuff?
Yeah.
With these. No, we're missing some numbers.
It'd be
Some numbers
NA2.
here. Na2SO4, good. And then what about over here?
Would it be
Cu2?
No,
O2.
CuOH2.
Cu.
There you go.
That's what I was saying.
Alright.
I have a question.
Yes.
Why is the 2 outside the parentheses, but it's reacting to both O and H?
Yes.
Okay.
Good job.
I just asked the question.
Alright.
More than you do.
Very good. So we ended up, and what would the names of those be?
Wow.
Sodium sulfate.
Yeah.
Sodium sulfate, and what would this one be called? Oh wait, no, what would
Copper.
this one be called?
Copper hydroxide.
Copper 2 hydroxide. Very
Can you say the
good.
first thing? It was sodium.
Sodium sulfate. So this is sodium sulfate. And this would be
Copper hydroxide.
copper 2 hydroxide. All right, very good. Alright, so we're on to the next page.
Yeah.
Alright, so describe anything else that you observed during the reaction.
Not much.
It
The
took
steam. It was steamy.
Bless you. Not today.
okay.
Alright, and then the answer to number 12 is just what we wrote up here.
The formula.
For 12, yes.
So this is the chemical formula, and then the word equation would be, I'll just add this in again. So it would be copper 2 sulfate plus sodium hydroxide.
Can you erase the top part?
Why?
Because that's where
It's old. So we can put more stuff up there.
She'll erase it when she has to.
When I get there. Alright, yeah, so this part is no longer what we're working with. And hopefully you guys all wrote that down.
10 was sodium sulfate and copper 2 hydroxide.
Alright, let me bring this over here so Hope can see what we got on the board here. So you can see what that reaction looks like, even though it's backwards. Hopefully you can make sense of it. Alright. So what are we doing next?
Place the clay triangle on the ring with the wire gauze. Place the beaker containing the mixture from the previous procedure on the gauze and cautiously heat the mixture until it boils. Alkaline solutions tend to spatter. Stir constantly until the reaction takes place. Water and copper 2 oxide will form.
Alright. Who's feeling brave?
Not me.
What are we doing?
So you're putting this and then the new solution onto this and then heating it.
Anybody else want to volunteer for this? Other than Zach?
Can you
Oh. He just wants to.
I'll do it.
Alright, Andrew.
Okay, let me just finish.
Spatter.
Should we slowly heat it up though, since it says if it's batters, it's not
It
really
says
batter.
cautiously heat the mixture.
Thank you, Captain Einstein. Another real Captain
Place
Einstein.
the beaker containing the mixture onto the gauze and cautiously heat it until it boils. So you might want to raise that ring up again so it's not too close to the flame.
It's not gotta take the speaker out, is it?
Yes, you can take the funnel out. I would just put that in right there with the.
Be careful.
So loud. This is our last one.
Our last procedure, yeah. It's a good thing.
Oh, look at that.
Good thing.
Alright, well it's good because we only have like 17 minutes left. So we'll actually get to finish, which is good.
So we have in the homework to do Monday then?
I did.
Yes.
And not Tuesday?
No,
You said it was on Tuesday.
No, we actually, for chapter 9, which is the chapter we're in now, there's 3 labs for that chapter.
So we
So
do a
we
lab
probably
Monday?
will do a different lab.
So
Okay.
the homework still due Tuesday.
The homework still due Tuesday. Yep.
Alright.
Where's the thing?
Yeah, so it would be that one
Okay,
there.
put down all these things.
Yeah, look at your gloves already.
I don't know.
So I put it
If
on.
you want it,
Maybe
these on
I'm
top of
thinking
those,
something
you
to
can,
make
for a little added
I
protection
mean, I'm probably
there.
doing all on Sunday.
So I'm gonna put that mixture into one of
Guys,
these, right?
let's not talk about what we're doing for the weekend, okay? What?
So I'm gonna put that mixture into one of these.
No.
Or can I just put that right up there? On top of this
Replace
thing?
place the beaker containing the mixture
Yeah.
on the gauze.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, I would say maybe raise that up even a little bit higher, actually.
Yes.
Lower.
What did we mix it?
Read number
So
1.
we're taking
We're
this
just heating it. We're taking the
Here.
and heating it.
and we're heating it up.
Genius.
Does it look
Yeah, it's
slanted?
not good.
It does look slanted here. Can you grab that beaker there for a second? Alright, let me see if we can. Can you, grab me one of the other rings out of there? There's another one that'll be a little straighter.
It's Friday.
Playing a game.
We're gonna eat ice cream, I think. Is that it?
Yeah, that one's a little straighter.
You're right.
I'm trying to see.
No, you're right.
Yeah, that looks better.
Yeah,
It was nice. It was nice.
Alright, so
Not that I could
think
over
you're
it.
ready to,
I'll put it down. It's not even.
Is it
directly
supposed
over
to
it.
be directly over it?
No, because then
Well,
it
you
looks
If
bad.
you're from my angle view, it's like
Just
plane
see- let's
going
just-
next. The plane is
let's
even
just-
next to it.
well, he
Unless the
can
page
move the Bunsen burner. It's alright.
Crank it up.
Relax.
I already see the air moving like when it's really warm.
Alright, so it says you're gonna
Let it
wanna
happen.
stir that continuously
Come
until
on.
it comes to a boil.
Boil. Yeah. There you go.
Just sliding.
Be careful.
School sliding.
Now you gotta stir it. She said.
Can you write this down on a book? I never write down number 12.
What's your math movie name?
But and you wrote
Just
number 12 and number 11.
I didn't write 12. I just wrote 12.
I know, but 11 was 12. Like you wrote 12 and said 11.
Oh, yeah.
11 was just something you noticed during the observation. Across the mountain.
How come it's not good as math?
Just smile, Sarah. Be
Just-
happy.
Squint your eyes. Okay.
Well, it's not really sulfuric acid
happy.
anyway, it's changed state, or it's changed its composition, so.
It's still strong enough to burn your skin.
Well, yeah, especially once it gets
Hey,
heated
hey.
up.
Come back to little.
It's gonna be hot when it gets to a
Richard.
boil.
Richard.
Little Richard. Yeah.
No. Richard.
Then who? Which one?
The older one.
Guys. Just sit and observe the reaction. So you can see, if you look,
It's getting
you guys
foggy.
can come up and look, not, just don't get too close. There are some bubbles starting to form on the bottom. Just don't get too close, and oh, you probably should have your goggles on.
Can you erase
So
it?
you got me on green goggles?
Yeah.
Put them on.
That's kind of weird.
Just
Hey,
Uh-huh.
better than getting boiling liquid in your eyes.
Yes, sir.
We know. They're calm.
No, there isn't a problem.
Why
I'm
You
just
support
speaking
them?
about
Alright.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I wish she supports me.
No, them.
So why don't you guys stop? Come and observe
It's
what's
looking
going
like
on.
it's
You can
boiling in
see
water.
it's starting to bubble.
Oh, that's what the heat is.
Observe.
I am.
Get up and observe, she said.
I can see it.
I don't think you can do too short.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, bro.
That car just came back.
I'm like the biggest person.
That's a key.
It's a key.
Yeah,
Does it say specifically how long it should boil for?
What?
Stir constantly until a reaction takes
Yeah, I know.
place.
That's all okay.
So we should see some type
Yeah,
of
My
reaction.
oil is one place.
Are you not? Yeah, I thought.
It's only a matter of time before it blows.
You're not easy. Touching? Yeah, touching the ground. And delivery and DPW, yabba-dabba-doo.
Stop boiling.
Yeah, because the flame set up in a way
Do you have
that.
your goggles on?
Yeah, I'm getting the tips.
Oh.
It's not actually.
You stole mine. Okay,
So we can move the
Oh, I
burner
plug it
so
in.
it's a little bit more directly underneath.
Yeah.
If that,
It has
It
it
come
come
towards
towards
us, I think.
Yes.
Go
And
off.
the
Now
shell.
it's
Oh my
definitely
God.
boiling. It was for a second.
Who's calling? I wonder why.
The shell.
Doesn't bring me in.
He's got gloves.
It's
It's fine.
steaming off of his clothes. I don't know if it's not that, but yeah.
And you can see now there's condensation forming on the outside.
True, true.
Yeah, we all see it.
True, true.
So there's some type of gas being produced, you can assume.
Why is that happening?
I don't know. Right at the bottom of it, really damage
Who's
your
that?
eyes.
Tell me.
There's not
I'm just asking who you mix. There's a lot of
Wait,
recruits.
is
Really?
There's not
cancer
letting
stuff?
No, it's not sulfuric acid
Which
anymore.
one?
It's
What's his last name?
sodium
what's his middle
sulfate
name?
and copper hydroxide.
What's his last
You
name?
only
I'm
said.
kidding. I don't even know.
So one of
But
the
how do you
things
know?
Maybe if you're pressing
you
it
guys
against the-
might notice is that the way it's boiling is a little bit different than what we're used to seeing, right? Because normally when we're boiling liquids, we do it in what kind of material?
metal.
Metal, which is a very good conductor of heat. So it transfers the heat evenly around the solution.
Why don't we use metal?
Whereas with glass, is not
How
exactly.
is it boiling?
Glass is really not a good
I think
conductor.
it's just
So. No, interesting.
What?
I didn't even say anything.
Yeah, you did.
Maybe if it was just a little.
Maybe you think your goggles are
Yeah.
But you also like you.
Basically.
Melanie, can I use your goggles if you're not going to?
Yeah, they're really-
Can I?
yeah, we don't really want the glass to go blind.
Yeah.
Well, I'm okay.
Taking up black
Wait, can I have
box
mine now?
shadow.
They're mine.
They're not yours.
Guys, let's not share goggles, please.
Come on, Sarah.
Sarah.
I didn't share.
You got the good. You got the good glasses.
Then take these
You got the
ones.
glasses. She's talking about the page, not you, so.
I know, not me. I said can we trade then?
Alright.
But I think they're mine. Mine was the first one.
My knees are growing tired. They're growing old.
How?
Because I'm 55. Now I'll be getting a dog without seven. Are you supposed to do anything else?
I think that's it.
Unless it just
Crank it.
I should just see what
Let's just
happens.
be until it comes to a boil.
Can I?
I mean, it did come to a
I mean, it's-
boil. Like, so.
I think it's good.
Yeah, that's good.
You can sit down if you want to. It's not for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, once it's
actually
down, you
use
think
like
it's
a
good.
Well, you can see actually now there's a little bit more of the gas forming on the outside of the glass, or the inside of the glass.
You can share them though.
What do you mean?
And it is spattering a little bit.
Who's spatting?
See, you
Spatting?
can see the spatter on the side of the beaker there.
Yeah.
What you doing, Deacon?
So which is probably why there's
Hands
being
smell
a large beaker.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're almost out of time, so while you can continue heating that, because I don't know if it's quite a vigorous boil
Oh,
yet.
yeah.
But let's see what else. Guys, try to focus, please. See what else we need to do here.
It just says yeah, water and
Well,
copper.
there's still
two
lots of questions to answer, so.
So when you heat the
It closes
mixture,
the
what
oxygen
compound
out.
decomposes into copper 2 oxide, CuO, and water?
Crazy. Copper hydroxide.
Very good, Zach.
Yeah,
I was gonna say that, but
yeah.
I literally was.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Yep, yep.
like swear.
Yeah.
Are you guys
Bring them all.
all following that?
Yeah.
We got to stop with the back and forth. Seriously.
What?
Just
Yeah.
stop it. Alright, so when you heated the mixture, what compound decomposed into copper 2 oxide and water?
Didn't we just say copper hydroxide?
Yes, I'm saying that again for those who didn't hear. Alright. And how do we write that? It's up here in case you forgot. Copper 2 hydroxide is written like this for the chemical formula. Alright, so
Good.
Yes.
Cu parentheses OH parentheses
Can
2.
we leave it just like that?
No.
Heating up? I drew a copper too. If I'm gonna walk away.
Yeah, copper hydroxide and then Cu parentheses OH and the parentheses with the
He said then parentheses.
like end parentheses and then 2. Like outside.
In parentheses too.
Well, I didn't mean to.
CU.
That's right then.
What's that?
Ew,
You
parentheses.
say put parentheses in the two.
What's it?
We're talking about
Copper,
No, no.
copper 2 hydroxide.
Sorry, what the fuck?
It's 13?
Yeah,
13.
13?
So describe anything else that you observed. We observed condensation and
Yeah, honking.
Yeah, we're just.
Good range. Why is that coming to a complete boil?
Because it's your time.
It's slowly boiling.
Well, it should be
Good, you need to-
forming.
Here
I
we go.
can't tell if it is or
Well,
not.
she's got the
It's
gloves
boiling.
on. I don't know if she wants these or not.
Maybe the water was the condensation on the side. Huh?
Back a little.
Smart.
That's when you're a little smart.
Alright. So you can see there's some gas forming on the side. What should eventually form
Oh, it's boiling.
on the
Yes,
surface.
it was. Here, do you want these?
You should begin to see.
Kind of fun. I like them.
can we still wait for it?
You should start to see the copper separate out again.
The copper's not in there.
Well, it is in the copper 2 hydroxide
Sorry.
because that's decomposing. So we should see a black powder start to form on the outside.
It's not bad.
Perfect.
Yeah. So, 13 copper. 2.
Read my mouth.
What's looking?
So,
Condensation.
Here's one.
Apple.
Yeah, you keep. You don't even know. You do different everything. Okay, there you go. You got it.
What?
it's so weird how it like boils for a second and then stops and then starts again.
Let's go.
Is that how
Road
they
rage.
the chemical reaction?
No, sorry.
I turned up the flame a little bit.
It's
You
Grab. No, you gotta go back. It's
this one.
grab.
If you look at it from here, it looks like the
Grab.
actual
Wait, you pickle
butane
first? Like,
is
what
going
do you mean?
around
What are you
it. It's
doing?
not actually going into it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
You see the gas
Well, you
going
gotta do it
up?
slower.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute, no. This.
Well, it could just be that it's hitting the
I
surface
can't
and
even-
kind of dispersing
Wait,
out
okay,
around the
So
beaker.
it's like
Yeah.
under.
It's kind of cool though.
Yeah, like
Sarah's
this.
doing
This. This. This.
Can we lower it
And
closer to
then,
the flame?
yeah, I think I got it.
Well, right now it's really hot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I
glass.
just don't want to
Yeah.
burn myself in the process.
You probably found the gloves, but you need someone to hold the
You
thing,
like
you don't have anybody.
Over,
And
on,
we'll go to the-
Over handshake this.
over, handshake.
Yeah.
This.
Like this.
Oh, okay, so
It's
over,
something where I think the
handshake.
water
13, huh?
is evaporating out.
Helen. That was kind of learn.
What have you learned?
Chemical.
Yeah, I moved
Or anybody else with protesting?
This isn't it too?
Meanwhile, she's trying to figure out how to dap up.
You know, if you guys are bored and you don't know what to do, you could start writing your journal entry
Done did it.
See gas will.
instead of wasting
Looks like that's what she's trying to do.
time.
I did the first 2 in my first pair.
I did 13 and 14.
They did it so
Can we
far.
do
Everybody
15?
else did too.
Can we do 15?
I could do it.
But yeah, go on
Right?
to
It's like,
whatever questions you can answer.
I can't.
When you
What did we do on the one before this? We combined what?
Richard, right?
Look back in your thing. You should see it.
Sodium sulfate.
What's short for Richard?
So it is kind of
Right.
I don't know if you guys noticed.
Brick.
It is starting to change color
It
a
looks
little
like-
bit.
yeah, it
It's
looks-
turning like a
It looks
yellowish.
like a,
I see.
Yeah, it's like yellowish brown.
Yeah, so that would be, so what we're observing is that the copper is actually separating from the water in the mixture. I think the water is evaporating out, and what's gonna be left behind is the copper hydroxide, right?
I think so.
Or it's, no.
Sarah.
Copper oxide and water. So the water is evaporating out, and copper oxide is what's left behind.
Okay.
All right, so at least the reaction worked. That's good.
Oh, goody. I want to get pictures.
So for 15, how would we grade 15?
You don't have to look if you don't want to.
Okay, cool.
Okay, good. What are you guys doing?
Right now, we're just boiling some.
We did a decomposition reaction.
Decomposition reaction.
Oh yeah, we did double replacement and synthesis so far.
So we had sodium sulfate and copper hydroxide, and that turned into water and what was the other thing that was left behind?
Copper.
Copper
Copper
Oxide.
hydroxide.
copper oxide. Thank you, Gio.
All right, can you say that again, Mrs.?
Oh, okay. So we started with sodium sulfate and copper hydroxide, and what was left behind was water and copper oxide.
Wonderful.
So and it was clear, and now it's like a yellowish color.
Hi, Vicky.
What are you doing?
All right, so we are out of time. We actually did get to finish, which is good. So for homework, you guys just need to finish answering those questions and do your journal entry.
Okay.
Go, so just vanish. Literally took around 1 second.
These gloves
Are salty?
are they're salting you.
All right, very good. Thank you guys. Good work today. All right, and I'm just gonna make sure that this is all
Ricky.
neutralized before we go. I got it.
Why is that so loud?
You can help Lily an hour, or can we help you an hour?
Yeah, 'cause we're just playing a map game today. We're not doing
Sorry, my hands are
That's what you
fine. I need help with 15 minutes.
I just gotta finish the question.
Burn myself a little bit.
Like hot fire?
Oh, a little bit of the liquid soaked through, just a little. It's just irritated. It didn't actually like burn through the skin or anything. Just
You want these just put in the bottom?
yes. Actually, Andrew, can you grab me the pH paper out of there? Right now, before I do anything else. You can enter with caution. We did a lab today using some acids and bases. Oh, let me turn this off now. Bye, Hope.